everybody, and welcome back to the garage. In today's episode, we're going to be going over how to fully service your Ace. Whether it's the 325 or the 570, it's pretty much everything is the same except for the engine. Little differences between the two, but everything else is the same. So let's get into this. Let's get this thing serviced up and ready to rock and roll again. Alright, so first thing you're going to want to do is pull your dipstick out. And we're going to get this guy out of here. Alright. Also, you can remove your service panel here and you have a oil fill up here in the valve cover. I like to take that out as well. Now let's get an oil pan under it. Now that we're under the machine, you're going to have your big cutout right here. And this one right here, that's like a circle with a little notch, is where the oil drain is. And it's right there. So just like any Polaris, clean out any dirt that's in it using a 6mm. Insert your 6mm Allen and undo your drain. And there we go. Let's let this drain out. Okay, so now our oil is just about done draining out. Take your drain plug, clean it off, inspect your crush washer. If you need to, replace it or just clean it off and reuse it. And stick it back in. And then we'll get on to the oil filter. Okay, now that we've got the oil drained out, let's change the filter. So on the 325, it's in this housing. On a 570, it'd be a spin-on filter. So using an 8mm, we're going to break these free. Just like so. Now, this is under spring tension. So what I like to do is take a little drain cup here. And as you take this off, the cover is going to push off because there is a spring in here. And it's going to start draining into our little cup there. That way we don't get it all over the engine or the frame. Okay. We've got our two 8mm removed. And now we're just going to simply pull the filter out. And there's our old filter. Let's get a new one on it. Alright, so now that we got our filter out, it's real easy. Now there is a spring that goes in here. Sometimes it stays inside the engine, sometimes it's in here. So if it's in here, take your spring out, set it aside. Mine's still in the motor, so we're just going to leave it in there. Real simple, just pull the old filter off. Take a pick. Grab your O-ring here. Whoop. And pull your old O-ring off. Wipe any of this old excess oil off. Okay. Take our new O-ring and install it on the cover. And take our new filter. Now the filter is going to be marked, see, this side and spring. So your spring's got to go in there. And then this side says towards filter cover. So you can't get it wrong. And just going to push it on like that. Okay? And again, if your spring's out, put your spring in there. My spring's still in the motor, so we're good. Let's pretty much wipe it out of there. Okay? Put a little new engine oil on your O-ring. You see there's my spring. It's still sitting in there, so we're good. This only goes on one way. There's a tab here and a tab here. Slide in. Make sure it engages the spring. Yep. Put our two bolts in and tighten it down. And then just pretty much just go back and forth between the two. All right, two ways to fill up. One, just stick a funnel in here. And put 2 quarts of your preferred 550 in. Or you can just fill it up here through the top. Okay, now that we've put our 2 quarts in, take your dipstick, just stick it in, don't screw it in, and without starting the engine, you should be just over the full mark. So now we're going to put this all the way back in. And of course, once we've let it run for about 30 seconds, we're going to shut her off and check her oil again. Well, this time, take it off. If you just stick it in, it should be right to the add mark if you just stick it into the threads. Okay? If you screw it all the way in, you should be right at the full mark. There we are, right at the full mark. All right, let's get this front diff done. Now, pretty much like any other Polaris, we're gonna come underneath the front of the ace here. And right here is your drain for your front diff. So like I stress all the time, clean this bad boy out, get all the dirt and crap out of there. And then using your 8mm Allen, we're gonna stick it in and loosen it up. All right. Oh. Better get a drain pan. Hang on. There we go, that's better. All right. And then I just leave that Allen in here so I can unscrew it. Ooh, yeah, yummy. All right, let's let that drain. Clean this off and replace the O-ring. Okay, that's done draining. We've cleaned our plug up. We got a new O-ring on. Don't forget, this is a magnet, so you're gonna have some kind of like muddy metal crap. Just clean that off. As long as you don't have any big chunks of metal, you're good to go. And then we're just gonna come back on here. Hang on. Stick this guy back in here. Well, it's pretty self-explanatory. Stick it back in, tighten it down, onto the nocks. Okay, so now we're back up top side. Now, one of the things I do, now mine's missing, I had to order a new one, but remove your CV guard, the plastic guard that's here. Take the 3 Torx bolts out and remove that guard. That makes it easier so you can get into, there's your fill plug right there on the side, okay? So what I use is 3-inch extension with, of course, the 8mm again. Just like every other damn Polaris out there. And then, hang on. I'll get it. Stick it in. Sound like a broken record, but clean all the dirt and sand and crap out of your plug before you put your 8mm in. And break it free. Easy peasy. All right, now we got our demand drive fluid. Fluid pump installed. And we're gonna take the hose. This is really hard working around the damn camera right now. All right. And start pumping. And just keep pumping this until the fluid comes out of the diff. Once it starts overflowing, you're full. As you can see, I got it in the front diff. And there we go. Our fluid's just coming out. Front diff is full. Put your fill plug back in and you're good to go with new fluid in your diff. Okay, so here we are at the rear of the Ace, and this is your fill check plug for the transmission. Again, sound like a record player here. Clean this out of any dirt and debris. 8mm Allen install. and break it free. And also, a little 3-inch extension helps too, to keep you from, like I just did, hitting my freaking, it's okay, we got it. All right, so we'll pull our fill check plug out here. Here we go. There it is. Okay, clean it off, replace your O-ring, and there you go. To check your fluid level, it's just like this, right at the, there we go. Ooh, it's pretty clean. We're still gonna change it. Okay, underneath, let's get the drain out. All right, so coming underneath the ace, right here in your skid plate, is your drain plug, right there. Again, clean any dirt or sand out of there. I can't say it enough. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, we're gonna take our Allen here, 8mm gun. There we go. And break it free. And take it out. And then you want to make sure, as you're taking this out, that you got your drain. This drain pan is always running off on me. Where is it? Get over here. Okay, there we go. Stay. Make sure your drain pan's under it. And pull your drain plug out. Oh boy, my ratchet's acting up. Freaking Craftsman. There we go. Yummy. All right, let's let that drain, and we'll get this cleaned up. Same thing like the front, there's a magnet. It's not horrible. Make sure there's no big chunks, but clean this guy off, new O-ring, and then we'll get it back in. All right, so we got the drain plug back in. It's all drained. We're gonna grab our AGL with our fluid pump. Stick the hose into the transmission fill and start pumping away. And just keep pumping it till the fluid starts coming out. It's 1.5 quarts to fill this transmission. All right, and then reinstall your drain plug. Your transmission is now full with fresh AGL. Okay, now let's get the machine greased up. So we're back here on the left rear. You're gonna have 4 on the rear suspension. So your upper A-arms have 2 and your lower have 2. So here's the 2 on the back. And just fill it up till grease starts to come out. Usually it's just a couple pumps on each. Okay. Here's the 2 on the front of the rear control arm. Got one here. There we go. And the other one is down here. And repeat the process for the right rear. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, sway bar. Okay, the rear sway bar has 2 grease fittings on it. There's one here. So same thing. Just pump it until you get fresh grease coming out, which I just saw it come out on this side. And repeat the process for the passenger side. 1, 2, squirt. There, yep, got some coming out. Good. All right. So you got a total of 10 in the back. Each control arm has 1. So you got 4 on this side, 4 on that side, and the sway bar has 1 on each side. So there's 10 grease fittings on the rear that you got to do. Now, let's move to the front. Okay, now we're at the front of the machine. And if you come on the back side, it's easier to get to it because you got your drive, everything's in the way. I always come from the back. But each control arm has 1 in the middle. So, pretty much, yeah. There you go. Same thing, pump it up until the grease comes out of your bushing. Then come over to your driver's side or the opposite front side, and repeat the process on that one. Okay, and for our last grease fitting, come over here by our clutch. We're going to come down here, and it's for our front drive shaft. There's a grease fitting, yeah, right there. Okay. All right, so let's get the air filter changed. So first, remove your service panel from your bed. And your air filter box is right here. Release the 2 tabs, lift up, and pull out. Ooh. Ooh. Well, it's missing a clamp. So there's supposed to be a clamp on the air filter here. So if you're doing yours, loosen your clamp. Remove your filter. Clean your box. So let's get this cleaned up. All right, that's better. The other thing is there's a seal right here, okay? Check your seal. This one was actually pretty worn out and damaged, so I'm gonna have to get a new one. So I don't have a seal to put in here right now, but for the video purpose, it'll be, imagine there's a seal here. All right, this new K&N. Easy peasy. Lock it down. Put your new cover on. It's got 2 tabs in the back. If you kind of lift it up, tabs fall in, lock it down. All right, air filter's done. All right, so to do the spark plug, pretty much just pull off your spark plug wire. And then using your 5/8 spark plug socket with a 3-inch extension, set that down in. Break your spark plug free and try to get it out. All right, and of course my little rubber piece in my socket is not working, so we're just gonna pull the spark plug out with a magnet. All right, now we're gonna set our new spark plug in. And tighten it up like any other spark plug. Tighten it up with your ratchet and seat your wire back on. Spark plug's done. And there we have it. We've got all the service work done on the Ace, all the fluids are changed, everything's greased up, and this thing is ready to hit the trails and enjoy a nice summer of riding. So I hope everybody enjoyed this. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And also check out my Facebook page, Polaris Nuts Garage on Facebook. Come join us there. There's more content and easier ways to talk and share ideas and go about there. So until next time, I'll see you all right here on Polaris Nuts Garage.